Welcome to Dark Hotline, Real Horror Radio, where real voices share their darkest fears. Tonight's call comes from a man named Dan, a traveler who thought he'd found peace on the open road, until a quiet job at a lonely gas station turned into something else. Let's hear it.
Hey, I'm on. Okay. You ever worked the graveyard shift at a rural gas station middle of nowhere? If not, let me paint the picture. Fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the hum of the fridge coolers, a quiet so deep it wraps around you like a damp wool blanket. Most nights it's raccoons in the dumpsters or a tired trucker stopping for bad coffee and worse jerky. I took the job the winter during my gap year. I'd gotten an offer from a university, but after a long talk with my parents, I put it off. I was confused back then, didn't know what I wanted to do with my future. So I decided to travel, earn as I went, figure myself out along the road. My parents made me promise to check in once a week, let them know where I was, whether I was staying put or moving on. Honestly, I loved it. Waking up in new towns, meeting strangers, never knowing what came next. Some weeks I washed dishes, hauled boxes, or stocked shelves. Other days I just drove, windows down, music loud, no destination. I even thought I could live like that forever, just me and the open road. That's how I ended up at this gas station. I stopped for fuel, saw the hiring sign, and the manager gave me the night shift on the spot. Good pay. No questions asked. It was supposed to be temporary. Just me, a till, a handful of night owls, peace and boredom. I called it the peaceful third shift because there were 2 other shifts. Then someone clocked in. From exactly 2:13 a.m. to 3:07 a.m. for 5 nights in a row. It started on a Thursday. I just restocked the candy aisle and was scrolling on my phone when the screen flickered. Static darted across it. The overhead lights dimmed for a heartbeat. Then the door chime dinged. I looked up, expecting some local night owl. But no one was there. The door was closed. Parking lot empty. But the air had changed. Heavier. Like someone had opened a hatch to a basement sealed long ago. I turned and nearly screamed. A man stood by the Slurpee machine. He wore a dark green parka, hood up, zipped to the chin, though the heat was blasting. I couldn't see his face. The shadow beneath the hood was too deep, like looking into a tunnel. For a second, his stance looked almost familiar. "Sir?" I called. "We close at 4, but if you need help." He didn't respond. He just raised his hand and pointed at the cooler. Its door was wide open. I knew I hadn't left it like that. Inside, every bottle was filled with thick black liquid, swirling like oil in water. I blinked. The man was gone. The cooler was normal again, Pepsi, water, Gatorade. I didn't sleep when I got home. Told myself it was exhaustion, hallucination, lack of sleep, and too much caffeine. I was supposed to call my parents that day, but I didn't. What would I say? "Hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I think I'm seeing ghosts at work." So the next night, Friday, 2:13 a.m. This time he stood by the bathrooms, hood low, hand raised, pointing at the convex security mirror above the drink station. I looked into it and froze. The reflection didn't show the store. It showed a road stretching into darkness, endless, too straight, too still. The kind of road I'd been driving for months, except this one felt wrong. And far down that road something stood waiting. The mirror cracked before I could look away. A single fracture line straight down the center, like someone had dragged a nail across it from the inside. When I spun around, he was gone again. I stood there, breathing hard, staring at the mirror. Then I looked closer at the crack. It wasn't a crack. It was a long black hair. Was I losing my mind? I'd tried things before, soft stuff, back in school parties. Mushrooms, maybe a joint or two. But nothing ever did this. And I hadn't touched anything since the trip began. I backed away from the mirror and didn't go near it for the rest of the night. I called my manager, Jake, the next morning, asked if he could pull the camera footage. A few hours later, he called me back, sounding confused. "There's nothing on the tape, man. That whole hour? It's just blank. Like the feed cut out." "Like a power outage?" I asked. "No." Lights were fine. Register kept running. You even rang up a pack of gum at 2:57. I hadn't. I told Jake I wasn't feeling well, tried to swap shifts. No one wanted nights. My phone buzzed. A text from my mom. Haven't heard from you. Everything okay? I typed back, yeah, all good. Working nights? We'll call soon. I should have called. Instead, I went back to work, hoping the thing wouldn't show. Night 3 Saturday. This time the man moved. He didn't walk like a person, more like a tape being fast-forwarded, twitching, jerking, skipping space. I tried locking myself in the office, but the handle stuck. The door wouldn't budge. He didn't come for me. He never moved close. But wherever I turned, he was in the corner of my vision. Always pointing. Always at something wrong. A magazine rack, its covers bleaching to gray in real time. A candy bar growing mold through the wrapper. A lottery ticket spelling out let me out in scratched silver. By 3:07, I was shaking so hard I could barely stand. Then, like a switch, everything snapped back to normal. He was gone. Night 4 was Sunday. I almost quit. Sat in the car for 20 minutes, engine running, phone buzzing with 3 missed calls from Dad. 3 more days till payday. 3 more days, I told myself, and maybe I'd understand what was happening. At 2:13, the register started printing. Receipts spooled out in a steady stream, curling across the floor. I grabbed one, then another. Every slip read the same thing. I work the 3rd shift. I work the 3rd shift. I work the 3rd shift. The turn-off button didn't work. I unplugged the machine. It kept printing. I pressed my back to the counter, watching the door, counting seconds. At 3:07, silence. The printing stopped. The receipts lay in a pile at my feet. He never appeared. Then came Monday, night 5. Maybe I got cocky. Maybe I thought it was over. 2 more nights, I told myself. 1 more paycheck. At 2:13, he didn't just appear. He came to the ceiling. Slow, like sinking through tar. Feet first, sinking down until he was standing directly in front of the counter. And I finally saw his face. It was mine. Twisted. Pale. Eyes rolled white. His jaw unhinged too wide, as though about to scream. No sound came out. I couldn't move. His hand passed through the counter like mist, touched the register screen. And everything went black. I woke up. Jake was shaking me. Morning light through the windows. Storm last night, he said. Power flickered. Must have knocked me out. He laughed nervously, but his eyes kept darting at the mess. The register was fried. Receipts scattered across the floor. Funny thing, he said. Cooler door was wide open when I came in. All the bottles looked off, black or something. Then I blinked and it was fine. I quit that day. Didn't wait for my paycheck. Just walked out, got in my car, and drove. On the highway, I finally called my parents. Told them I was moving on to the next town. My mom asked if I was fine. She said I sounded stressed. My dad offered to wire money. I didn't tell them the truth. How could I? I stayed in the next town for 3 days. Barely left the motel room. On the 3rd day, I packed up and drove home. That year, I tried new things. Took online courses. Volunteered. Found something that finally felt right. Not what I'd planned. I never went back to that university. I started over somewhere else. That was 5 years ago, and I'm happy now. But I still dream of the gas station. The black liquid in the bottles. The man in the parka, always pointing. And in the dream, I walk into the store around 2 a.m. The lights flicker. There's someone behind the counter, wearing a dark green parka. It looks a lot like me.
There's something about lonely places at night, isn't there? They hum differently. Like the world thins out just enough for something else to step through. Maybe that peaceful 3rd shift was never Dan's at all. Maybe someone or something was already clocked in. Or maybe something was trying to warn him. Show him he had better places to be. Better roads to take. The open road doesn't just take you places. It keeps a piece of you at every stop. And sometimes One of those pieces decides to clock back in. If you've got a story like that, something you've never told anyone, the lines are open. We'll be here all night. You've been listening to Dark Hotline, Real Horror Radio, where true voices whisper what they can't tell anyone else. If you're driving tonight, keep your doors locked, your lights low, and your eyes open, because some roads don't end where you think they do.